Hey, it's Jag.
Yeah.
It's time to start putting things where they belong, cleaning up in here, hopefully for the last time for a while anyway. In the last video I got the floor under the shelf cleaned. I got the start for my tool wall up. And I got the casters fixed on the workbench. There's a lot of things I'd still like to do in regards to especially the tool wall, but as I said, I've got some days to deadhead this, so we're not doing tool wall today. Today what I'm going to do is, as much as possible, clean up and put things away that can be put away. I'm going to start by taking the stuff that I piled up on what remains of the shelf here, which will stay there. And I'm going to take these things off because they were just there to be out of the way for now. So I've got this little shelf unit that's on the floor here. I keep screws and things like that, and I'm going to move it over in the corner here that I cleaned up after the mice. And I'm going to put my grandfather's tool chest on top of that. And that stuff will live over here for now. I think I will still have room to put the slide the workbench in here if I do that. So I'm going to start with that, getting that off of there. Some of this stuff is junk and is going to go away. I'm also going to start a pile of junk somewhere. And then I can start moving things up there that are going to stay there permanently. Like I said over here, when I did the power tool bench, I want to now, as I'm putting things in places, that's where they're going to live. Clearly it didn't last long. I have piled up stuff over here again, but I knew that wouldn't be for long. So once I get all of these things sort of cleaned up, put where they're going to be, where they're going to live, what I want to do is get a bunch of this stuff off the workbench here. I've got a bunch of things piled up. I'm going to start putting things on here that I think should go on the tool wall. Things that I use regularly. And I'm going to put things on it like this axe, which is really decorative. A friend of mine who owns a forge made this out of a farrier's rasp. And it's a fro, I guess. I don't really have a use for it. I just really like the look. I'd like to sort of have some things that sort of look nice or decorative, but also fit with the sort of rough workshop kind of look I'm going for out here. So this will go up there, and I have a few other things. I have some old wooden yardsticks and various things like that that are kind of from days gone by. So without going too far down the rabbit hole, I'm going to get started by unloading the shelf over here and then reloading it with what's going to live there. Again, it is cool weather. I have my smaller fan on right now. You probably hear it. I'll turn the bigger one on. I was editing the footage for the video where I did the tool wall and the cleanup here. And I noticed when that one's on, the big red one, it's really loud. So my plan is when I'm not talking to you guys, that'll be turned on so I can, I guess, bring the volume down or maybe start putting music under things more regularly. That's another job that takes some time and I just don't get around to it. At any rate, it's getting chilly in here. Right now it's about, it's about 6 or 7 degrees Celsius. So 8 seems comfortable, 6 or 7 starts getting a little too cold. So we'll fire that up. I will move these things off this shelf, load in what's going there, and hopefully by that time I've cleaned a lot of this stuff up and I can kind of figure out what I want to do after that. So I've got a few of these, what we used to call, when I was on the road, cube taps. So they're a 3-way plug adapter, so you can plug 3 things into one socket, but the ground pin has been broken off. We used to do that so, well, first of all, a lot of the clubs we played were older taverns and cabarets, and they only had 2-prong power. We also had our own sub panel we took with us. We mostly plugged into that, but every once in a while we'd end up having to use the house power. Things would not be wired properly in there, so we would plug these in. If we got a hum, take it out, turn around, plug it in the other way. I know better. I knew better then too. I used to take my multimeter and make sure that between the chassis of the equipment and the mics, we didn't have any high voltages. Back then, you had a job to do and you just did it. But super dangerous. You can end up making the chassis of, say, your guitar amplifier live, and your microphone might be grounded properly. Well, now, as soon as you step up to the mic to sing, you put your lips against that mic, and you're completing a circuit because you're grounded through your guitar strings to your amp, and you're also grounded through the mic to the PA system, and both of them think ground is opposite what it should be, so very dangerous. So these things are finally going in the garbage. I've had this one probably 35 years, and I haven't used it in all that time. So anyway, very dangerous. If you see those, never use them. Always go with a grounded plug. Okay, that'll work for now for this. I remembered as I was putting this drawer down there that what I don't like about it is I have heavy stuff in it, and when I pull it all the way out, it tends to want to tip forward. I do, at some point, have a plan to just get rid of that altogether, but right now I do need it. So it's going to go down here. I still have enough room to wheel the bench over here if I need it, so I just have to remember to keep this area clear. This can live here for now, good enough, and we're on with getting rid of stuff. Okay, I'm going to keep some of these offcuts of the insulation so that I can seal up this open gap to the garage. Standing over here, it's freezing cold over in that corner, and it's quite comfortable right here. So that is why those were stacked up behind there for years. Now they're going to get used or thrown out. This is the original neck from the guitar I call Butch. It was a Fender Lead 2, and this is the Lead 2 neck. This is also the neck that got damaged when we had the flood in the electronics shop. I'm looking at it, and it's in reasonably good shape. It has a crack here, which I think I could probably fill and close up. Yeah, even pushing it by hand, it's closing up. And the top had been a little bit reshaped and painted black, which I don't like. I'm thinking that maybe at some point here I will sand this all off, maybe plane this down a bit, put a veneer on the top, and maybe take even the fingerboard off. The fingerboard matches the radius of the or the neck blank matches the radius of the fingerboard. Kind of strange. At any rate, I'm thinking maybe I'll see if I can make this into a serviceable neck again. It's very thin here up at the top. I wouldn't put it back on Butch. At any rate, I want to see if I can maybe make this neck into a reasonable neck again. Now, the fence for my router table, this needs a spot to live, just like my hand planes and stuff do. So I am thinking that one of the things I'll probably do is build a shelf for this. It doesn't need to be particularly low. It can be right up here, because I don't use this fence a lot, but of course, being for the router table, you do need it occasionally. Where to put it right now, though? I've got some plastic bins full of things that will be useful, may be useful. I'm going to have to go through them at some time and throw the stuff that's not useful out. An upcoming amp project. That's a lot of my guitar building stuff piled up here for now. I'll need to sort through it at some time, but that's kind of, I think, a very good use for that that area. So I'm okay with that stuff piled in there right now. I've got the bin of knickknacks down at the bottom here, and I've got 2 empty shelves right now. That's going to be, basically from here down, it's just going to be stuff that's where it lives when I'm not using it. It's stored, not stuff I need to get at much. Various tools that I don't use that often, that kind of thing, will go on those 2 shelves. This just takes up a lot of space, and I don't think I want to keep it around. I can't really see a place where I could actually put it and make it usable in terms of the space it would take to keep it. So I'm probably going to get rid of that. Another thing, I found these are old CD cabinets. I was going to use them in the studio to put my effects pedals and things like that on. Right now they're just piled in boxes, and I don't use them that often, but I thought it'd be really cool to have them as a kind of a display in the studio. Plus they're right there, I can grab them if I want to use one. I think I'm going to build different shelves for that down the road, because it occurred to me that with these sliding glass fronts, I could put them up here and use them for things that I don't want getting particularly dusty. I could put them probably up here and here on the 2 sides, and I'll figure out what goes in there, and I also then have space on top of them for things. That's already made a pretty big difference in here. Obviously, I filled the gap between the other side of the garage and here, and it's feeling much warmer overall in the whole shop. As a matter of fact, I can tell it's warmer. It's about almost 14 degrees Celsius in here, and it's cooled off quite a bit outside. It's about -5 right now. It's getting late in the evening. So that has made a big difference to the warmth in here. I had some of the trim that I had used up here left, so I just doubled up some of that and put that up here, as you saw, put a backer on, put some insulation in here. Down here, I haven't put any insulation, but I'm not feeling any drafts. There's a bunch of stuff piled against this partition on the other side, and this is pretty solid. Here I do have some insulation here and here, so I'm not really feeling any drafts there. It's not feeling too cold. The whole area, actually, the whole shop is feeling pretty even in terms of temperature. I'm actually a little warmer than I need to be, so that's good. So another good day of deadheading it in the shop. I have put a few things up here where they're going to live. I can put this one back. I will need to go through this stuff, but this is stuff that's going to live there. It's not really falling into the category of what I'd call clutter. I do need to do something with this. This old motor, I forgot I had this. This is from my old, really old table saw. When I got rid of that table saw, there was a bunch of problems with it, and the cast iron was cracked and it was not safe. So it was about a 50 or 60-year-old table saw. But I kept the motor because the motor's in pretty good shape. It's a 3/4 horse motor. I'm going to do something with this. I'm not sure what, but that will be a project coming sometime, hopefully next year. But I forgot I had that, so I was glad I found that. I've got things I can now move over into here. These are going to go up on the tool wall, probably up on the top. I'm thinking, well, I might actually use one as a battery charging station, maybe put it over on the other side of the tool wall, just on the other side of where the plug-in is, or in front of the plug-in. So that's a possibility for one of these, or two, both of them. Anyway, like I say, got a lot of good stuff done. I've closed up the gap here, both sides, went around the other side and put a cover on there, insulation in there. It's feeling really good in here. Got all of this done. So that's about all I have time for on day, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, day 3. That's about all the time I have on day 3 of my deadheading. So, like always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Check my band One Soul Thrust. The links, as always, are in the description below. And until the next video, we'll see you.